Arne Slot has been questioned big time after 7 games this season. This new season, forget about last season winning the Premier League and taking the league by storm. But the question is, has he fumbled on his summer transfers? We're here to talk about it. I'm Ty Knight. Let's go. So Arne Slot, yes, that's right. The great Arne Slot who came in last season, took the Premier League by storm and won the Premier League. Now moving on. This new season campaign, he sits second in the Premier League, 1 point behind Arsenal. But the games have been woeful. And majority of that is due to the players that's left and the players that have been brought in. Make no mistake about it, this is now Arne Slot's team. It's no longer Jurgen Klopp's team, the one that he inherited, the one he won the Premier League with. So technically, it was a substitute teacher who won the Premier League and not the Grand Master in Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, I went there. But your Arne Slot has now put his stamp onto what he feels and what he sees should be the Liverpool way. He's asserted himself very well, but the transfers he's done has not been very well. Now, you can argue and turn around and say, now, I know Liverpool fans are going to be doing it right now, saying, what the hell are you talking about, lad? You haven't got a clue. Hear me out. When you look at Kerkez, Frimpong, Wirtz, Ekitike, Isak coming in through the door, you can argue and say Kerkez as well, even though that was a little buy for last season just to say that we bought someone. These are not what you would say good purchases. And I'm being honest with that. Even with Alexander Isak, that is not a good purchase. And I'm going to really explain to you why. As much as we can turn around and say, you've got to give him time. You've got to give him time to gel, to integrate with the squad. You know, it's a new familiar, new surroundings. Okay. All these players are international players, okay? And every player that's been bought is an international player. When those players go from their club to the international scene, it's two styles of plays. It's a now new 11 bunch of players, not the players that you play with every time. But majority of these players turn up for international games. Now, when it comes to Arne Slot, and majority of them have had also a preseason other than Alexander Isak. But these players are just not great yet, I'm saying. But they're not performing to the optimum level as to what Liverpool shelled out and paid. Now, two of these players cost over 100 million. Now, you can argue and turn around and say a player doesn't determine what his transfer fee is. A player doesn't turn around and say, you have to buy me for 100 million. I hear that. But a player does turn around and say, you need to pay me X. Okay? So let's just get that one out of the way. A player determines what he wants to get paid in order to come. And if a player is asking for big money, you've got to do big performances. And that part, Liverpool fans, you cannot argue against that. But if you want to argue against that, leave a comment below right now. Secondly, is Arne Slot a one-season wonder? In a sense, he can't build at all. He doesn't know how to build. He's never been in a position where money like this has come in. Now, argument, you can turn around and say that these are not Arne Slot's players. These are players that FSG and the money ball strategy that they like to use goes into recruiting certain players. Now, I can turn around and say that because that is what they do. That's their background. Baseball is their background. The Oakland A's, that's what they modeled themselves on. That they did. Okay, do your homework, people. If you don't know, they model themselves on their baseball background with their algorithms. That's how they determine who's going to be the right fit for the club. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, Arne Slot, I don't think he's picked out all these players. I really don't. These players are being presented to him and said, for what you're looking for, A, B, C, D, E, and F, these are the best options out there. And these are the ones that we can get. This is for the money that we can get them for. Leave it to us. Do you like it? Yes. Okay, we'll go and get them. I think that's what's happened. Not Arne Slot going to them and saying, this is who I want. I want Kerkez at left back. I want Frimpong at right back. I want Wirtz. I want Ekitike. And I want Isak as well. I don't think that's been the case. I just think he just said, this is what I would like. and then they go off and go and get those players. But the problem that Arne Slot has, for what he had last year, he doesn't have this year. There are some fundamental players who have gone out that Liverpool fans were thinking, nah, do you know what we can do without you? Nah, do you know what we can definitely do without you as well? And if we're going to get these players in, it's an upgrade on the team. On paper, it's an upgrade. But in reality, it's been a downgrade big time. And yes, again, 7 games have only gone, and I shouldn't be going on like this, but sometimes that's just what we do. We do it as sports fans. We just do it as we know best. We just do it with feelings. We do it with gut. And we do it with sometimes just by the eye test more than anything else. And if they fail on the eye test, then you're failing in everything else. It's quite hard to defend and turn and say, Arne Slot's got it right. He's been rattled this year. He's been rattled big time because he doesn't know his best 11, but yet he's been given these players. So he's had more than time to know exactly who's coming in and how they're going to fit in. But yet, he doesn't know what to do with these players. Jurgen Klopp left him a team settled, ready to fight. And that's why Liverpool done so well last year. All he had to do was just come in, literally put the best 11 out in their rightful position. No centre midfield going in at right back or centre midfield going in at centre back. No, none of that was there. Because the players that needed to play in their rightful position was there. And those players are now gone. Trent Alexander is now off to Real Madrid. Okay, nothing you could do about that. He was running down his contract. But I said, sell his backside, get some money in, and then reinvest it in the club. They didn't do that. Then you had Darwin Núñez, who's gone, and people were saying how shit he was. He wasn't a shit player. He just wasn't suited for the Premier League. But okay, he's gone. Luis Diaz, he's gone. Bayern Munich. But look how good he's doing over there in Bayern, how good he was doing for Liverpool, and now he's gone from Liverpool. All you have there on the left-hand side is Cody Gakpo. That's all you have. You bring in a Florian Wirtz, everyone was going crazy. Oh my God, Liverpool have done it. They beat Man City to Florian Wirtz. That's all he wanted to come was to Liverpool. That may be the truth, but the truth of the matter is, I don't think he's all that. Again, a lot of times you get excited by seeing what you see on YouTube by looking at clips or compilations and going, shit, this guy is going to lick it up here in the Premier League. The way Liverpool play, he's going to gel so well. He's just going to fit in, smooth in, and then he's going to pop. You know, the memes are out there already. What they call him, 008. Oh, shit. He's 007 for sure in the Premier League. Can I say it? 7 games have gone and he's got no goals and no assists. Then you look at Alexander Isak. Now you can turn around and say, okay, he hasn't had a pre-season properly, but that's his backside's fault for going off to his old club, trying to have a little pre-season over there, training by himself, leaving Newcastle, but he's played in the Premier League, so there's no excuse there. Yeah, it's a new team, but he's played in the Premier League. He knows the physicality. He knows what it's all about. And him not being in shape, that's his damn fault, not Liverpool's fault, not Arne Slot's fault. That's Isak's fault, and that's the mentality of that man there. The one player I'm going to turn around and say is decent, I will get to last. You look at Kerkez. Where's he come from? Bournemouth. He looks shit. He looks fucking shit at Liverpool. But everyone was trying to say that he was the best left back in the Premier League. If that's the best left back, then the standards are fucking low. Then you look at Frimpong coming over from Germany as well, same club, Leverkusen, the same club as what Wirtz is coming for. Yeah, he's quick, but he can't settle either. He can't defend. Him and Kerkez just cannot defend whatsoever. Now, again, I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. I could be harsh, but please let me know your thoughts, Liverpool fans, or just any fans out there who are watching right now. Let me know. Can Kerkez defend? Can Frimpong defend? Can Frimpong even stay fit? For that matter, is Wirtz a bust after 7 games? Is he looking like a bust, or is he just a player that needs to take time to settle in? Now let's get over to Alexander Isak. Are you impressed so far with the little games that he's played? But again, are you impressed, or are you just deflated and thinking, "Fuck me, what the hell have we done? Over 100 million on this guy, and he can't even fucking hit the header in when he had a chance against Chelsea. But yeah, he's played in the Premier League, and yet he still can't hit the back of the net on that cross. And it was a beautiful cross to his big ass head. He should have scored a goal. That's my opinion. The one little goal that he scored in the Carabao Cup so far, it can't be suffice enough for you Liverpool fans. But if it is, and that's your standard, then hey, you let me know right now. But the one player that I think has done well is Hugo Ekitike. The one little boo-boo slip from him is just taking his top off in a Carabao Cup after he scored a goal. I don't know what the hell he's thinking about after being booked. And no, he should know better. Taking your top off, you know you're going to get a yellow card, irrespective of what league it is. You know what the consequence is. And yet, he had a relapse moment. I think it was just because Alexander's in. And then he's just like, no, do you know what? I'm the top man here. I think it was just a over celebration moment just to get it off his chest that, yeah, I can score goals too. Not just this £100 million player here as well. Why the hell am I on the bench? But Arne Slot, back to him. He has major problems. And this international break, this second one, and it's so quick after 7 games, he's got to be sitting there thinking, what's my best 11? And he just has to put out his best 11, irrespective of who gets left out and what the transfer fee was paid for that player. Because if you don't get your best 11 out in your best formation, it's not just going to be 1 point behind Arsenal. It could end up being 6 to 8 points behind Arsenal and Manchester City should they take over. Now, it sounds crazy when I'm about to say that Liverpool and Man United play each other and Man United could go there and win a game. That is highly possible that that could happen. So, Arne Slot just needs to get his head out of his backside, stop cussing out the players in public, cussing behind closed doors. By all means, I'm all for that. You know, if they're playing shit, tell them they're playing shit. Just don't tell the media, because it gives us I'm not the media, you know, I'm trying to get there. But you put it out there to the universe, not to the universe, actually, to the stratosphere. Yeah, let's just put it to the stratosphere. We'll say that one. You put it across the world that certain players are not playing well, they're not doing good. Some fans want to hear that. I get it. But you don't want to hear that in public. You want to hear it behind closed doors. You can take it behind closed doors. But if you're saying it out in public, it gives the fans more reason to cuss you out. Because the manager's cussing you out, that means the fans can cuss you out even more. If the manager keeps on protecting you from the likes of myself and yourself, then it's easier for the player to have that confidence to say, well, he's still backing me in public, so that's what I'm going to go with. But if he's cussing you out in public, man, the fans are going to cuss you out even more and just turn around and say, you're shit, get out of here. The manager doesn't like you. I don't like you. What a waste of money. That player confidence just goes down and down and down. And Arne Slot is seemingly messing up. As I called him a one-season wonder, it's looking that way. But again, 7 games going in the Premier League, 1 point behind Arsenal. There's nothing much more to say. If Arsenal were in that position and there was 1 point behind Liverpool, then Arsenal fans would be saying, yeah, do you know what? That's a good place to be right now. Let's go after Liverpool. They may have a slip up. We hope they do. Let's go after them. Liverpool fans will be thinking the same thing right now. Do you know what? We're champions for a reason. We know Arsenal's going to fumble the bag. We know we're going to take over. We're not worried about Manchester City because we're Liverpool. We're the champions of the land. Whew. That was a lot to say right there. But I need to know your thoughts. Have I gone crazy? Have I just gone overboard? Have I just gone on a tangent and just said a load of bullshit that doesn't make sense? I need to know what your thoughts are. Has Arne Slot wasted this money? Has FSG wasted this money on the bunch of players that they bought in this summer transfer window? Let me know your thoughts. Hit the hype button, like, subscribe, and turn that notification on. I'm Ty Knight here. Thanks for watching.